There's a growing interest in the Imperial Valley that we want to make sure that those companies have no excuse but to hire local. It's a win for our local community, our local residents who will be able to get good jobs. Their labor force will be steady. We're really ahead of the lithium companies in terms of workforce. It's always better to be ahead than behind. Ultimately, it's an effort to eradicate poverty in the Imperial Valley.
Welcome to Geothermal Unleashed, where we will explore the cutting edge of geothermal energy. I'm Elizabeth Cambre from the Vallourec New Energies team, and I'm here to help educate and document geothermal's rise in the global energy transition. Today, I'm delighted to welcome my guest, Efrain Silva, the Dean of Economic and Workforce Development at Imperial Valley College, all the way out in California. So today, why don't we get things kicked off by you giving us an introduction. Tell our listeners a little bit about your background and share your role at Imperial Valley College, especially the work that you're doing in economic and workforce development.
Yes, of course. And thank you so much for the invitation. Very happy to be with you this morning. Like you said, my name is Efrain Silva. I've been a Dean of Economic and Workforce Development here at Imperial Valley College for over 20 years. But even before my tenure at IVC, I was the executive director of back then they were called Workforce Investment Boards. Now they're called Workforce Development Boards. So I've been in economic development, workforce development for more than 25 years, and it's an incredibly rewarding position, and I'm very happy to talk to you about Imperial Valley College. I am a native of the Imperial Valley. Mostly, I was born across the border in Mexico and came here as a young man, 14 years of age. So I reflect our community, I reflect our student body, and excited to be here.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. All right, so let's jump into our conversation today. So lithium is a hot topic in the Imperial Valley. So with the region gaining attention for its lithium reserves, how is IVC preparing students for this emerging industry, even though the companies involved aren't yet in the commercial phase?
So we're very excited about the transition into mineral extraction. So if you know the Imperial Valley, we are a known geothermal resource area. So there's a number of geothermal operations in the Imperial Valley that date back more than 30 years, right? So geothermal itself is not new to the Imperial Valley. It's been a long established industry here. But now with the opportunities and take that geothermal brine and do new things with it, the mineral extraction and lithium, my understanding, it may be the first of other minerals that hope to be extracted out of this valuable resource. So we're excited for that possibility. We're excited to work with the lithium companies that have been established here now for a number of years, and new ones coming. I just heard about another one, two more companies that are looking to come to the Imperial Valley. I'm not at liberty to say names yet, I don't believe, but there's a growing interest in the Imperial Valley, and we want to make sure that as these companies work on their operations and begin to work in commercial operations that are going to be hiring people, that we want to make sure that those companies have no excuse but to hire local, right? I think that if we have a ready, able workforce, it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for our local community, our local residents who will be able to get good jobs with good wages and benefits and so on. And it's also a win for those companies. Imperial Valley, it may not be the most inviting place to live. Our summers get extremely hot, right? So I think companies realize that if they hire local, their labor force will be steady. They're not going to lose people and come here and get some experience, some certifications, and go on to other places. So their turnover rates should be lower, and they're looking forward for that as well. So I think they're factoring in those kind of benefits by working with us and eventually hiring local individuals.
Let's talk specifically about the workforce gaps. So positions like plant operators, instrumentation technicians, and chemical lab technicians will soon to be in demand. Can you walk us through why these roles are so critical and how IVC is going to be addressing the need or is addressing the need?
Yeah, so we began to work with the three primary lithium companies that are here. Those are Control Thermal Resources, Energy Source Minerals, and Berkshire Hathaway Renewables. So those are the three companies that have been around for quite some time. They've been exploring the mineral extraction industry and making it commercially viable. So recognizing the opportunity, and we kept hearing about, potentially thousands of jobs that will be hired by these companies as they get to that point of commercial operations. We wanted to make sure that we were prepared for that. And to develop new training programs takes about 2 years, right? From developing the curriculum, going through all the necessary approvals process for this from with the state, getting all the necessary equipment, the infrastructure, and all of those things that are necessary to start new programs. We're looking at about a 2-year window. And then after that, once you start, you need at least another 1-year window to be able to produce graduates. So recognizing that timeline, I reached out to these companies probably about 4 years ago, right? And wanting to make sure that we identified specifically what jobs they're going to be hiring for when they move into hiring modes. So of course, some of those needs that they have, we already been training for. They're going to be hiring welders, so we have a very well-established welding program. Electrical technology, electricians, we have electrical programs. Office technologies, accounting, and all of those disciplines. We've been having those programs for a long time. But we identified three main primary programs, primary gaps that we were not training for. And so in working with the lithium companies, we identified what they are. So out of those discussions, out of those conversations and meetings with them, we developed three new training programs. We have a plant operator program that started 2 years ago. So this coming fall, we'll begin our third cohort of plant operators. We also developed a chemical lab technician program that started a year ago. So this fall, we'll begin our second cohort of chemical lab technicians. And then we're very excited about starting our first cohort of instrumentation technicians. So those are the gaps that were identified early on with the lithium industries. I think at the time, 4 years ago, the timeline that these companies anticipated being at a place where they would hire individuals was not realized. There's a number of factors outside my scope that have really delayed the project as they envisioned them. So we're really ahead of the lithium companies in terms of workforce. It's always better to be ahead than behind, because if you're behind, it's hard to catch up. So we made adjustments. We made adjustments in our training programs to make sure that we don't graduate an excessive amount of students without real job opportunities. So we scale back. Each of the programs that I mentioned are going to start with just one cohort of students, so 24 students, and that's the number that we need to have to make the courses viable. And that's it. We are not going to, produce more. There'll be opportunities for students. So I think down the line, as hopefully these companies do need to hire a larger amount of operators, technicians, and so on and so forth, we have the ability to scale up, right, as the need arises. But for right now, until the industry is able to catch up with us, we're going to limit the number of students entering these training programs.
I imagine that lithium isn't the only game that has been in town. Can you share examples of other industries that have explored building a presence in the Imperial Valley and how IVC has supported those efforts in the past?
So we're a small community, and we all know each other, all of the relevant players that are part of economic development and workforce development. So we have a pretty good connection of individuals. So whenever new industries are looking into the Imperial Valley, they know that IBC is the first call that they make, right? So I happen to be the president of our local EOC. So we meet with them. I meet with them every month. We are part of the organizers of the Energy Summit. So we bring a lot of different industries, a lot of different players that are looking into the Imperial Valley and have conversations with them. I'm also on the local workforce development board. So we have those WIOA connections and strategic planning sessions to make sure that IBC is incorporated into the planning efforts and the strategic efforts of the county. So we have a really strong sense of what's needed in the community. So every time that a new company is wanting to consider looking into the Imperial Valley, they always make it a point to come and see us, right? And my point to individuals is we are prepared to fulfill every workforce need. But there's a couple of things that we need to make that happen. One is we need assurances. We need to see evidence that there's going to be a recurring labor market demand for positions. And two, enough time to build those programs. Like I said, if it's something existing that is really easy to do, we scale up, we add more courses, more programs. But if it's something new, like the 3 programs that we're talking about, I need a 3-year window. And I've had situations in which people come to me and they say, well, can you graduate new technicians in the next 6 months? And the answer is no, right? Because it takes time. So I think that we're one of the key players when it comes to workforce development, and we understand that, and that's because of the relationships with our local EOC, our local workforce board, and just connections in general. I've been doing this for a long time, so I have everyone's cell phone numbers in my phone, and they have mine as well. So it's a matter of just communication and making sure that that people recognize the abilities and the work that we're able to do. I have incredible faculty. I do want to give recognition of faculty who has been incredible. My whole support staff. It's not just me doing what we do. I have a whole team of people right next to me, kind of pushing me and making sure that we do the right kinds of things.
Wonderful. All right, so certifications matter. So third-party credentials like the SACA and the NC3 are becoming more important in the technical education. How are these integrated into your programs, and how do industry partners respond to them?
So we've been making an effort to connect all of our career technical programs with third-party certification. They're extremely important. So as an example, our automotive program is connected to the Automotive Service Excellence certification, right? Our welding program is connected to the American Welding Society certifications. So third-party certifications provide a tangible evidence to employers of what capabilities an applicant has, right? So if someone completes a certificate from IBC in welding or any of the training programs, all that our certificate says is that they completed all of the courses and they passed the courses. But it doesn't really provide any tangible information as far as what the student's abilities are. So third-party certifications are the mechanism to do that. It tells people exactly what abilities and skills someone has via their third-party certification. So we are connected to the Smart Automation Certification Alliance, SACA, for certification. We're also connected with the National Coalition of Certification Center, the NC3. Also, we're beginning that relationship now so that all of our students are able to walk away with third-party certifications. The way we do that is all of the equipment that we purchased over the last 3 years for these 3 particular programs are connected to either SACA or NC3. And they have a tremendous amount of curriculum, a tremendous amount of resources. All of our faculty has been certified as certified trainers, right? Certified instructors. So our faculty has the ability to provide those exams. And then if successful, students are able to walk away with a number of industry certifications, which again is a reflection of the capabilities and skills that they have. on a whole array of different equipment like pneumatics, programmable logic controllers, and a whole lot of things that I don't know much about, right? But my faculty does.
Okay, so IVC recently launched an associate degree in industrial automation, and that merges with the plant operator program. So what inspired this integration and what benefits does it offer the students?
So I'm very proud to say that we have the full spectrum of educational choices for students and for community members. All of the three programs that I mentioned earlier, they're one-year certificate programs. So if you're familiar with community college and certificate programs, students only take the core technical courses for their certification. But we're an educational institution. We promote degrees, right? So we wanted to also build a pathway for students that are interested in not just their one-year certificate, but also wanting to get an associate degree. So we work with industry. We added additional technical courses to the plant operator program. We added some additional disciplines that relate back to plant operations. And out of those discussions, we have a new associate degree in industrial automation. The importance of this is that we also have approval to start a bachelor's degree also in industrial automation that's slated to begin in fall of 2027. So our associate degree is basically the first 2 years towards a bachelor's degree. So our students who complete their associate degree in industrial automation will be able to just continue on here on campus and be able to get their bachelor's degree in 2 years later. The importance of the bachelor's degree is because we also wanted to provide opportunities for our residents for those management positions, right? It's the supervisory positions, right? So our industrial automation program kind of elevates the technical side of things. There's some high-end technical courses that my faculty develop. But at the same time, it also provides students a background in management, supervision, and so on and so forth. So our students will have, a very strong background in both the technical side of things and the management side of things. And the intent is, again, for these individuals to be able to move within companies, move into supervisory and management positions. And so basically the opportunity is there across the whole spectrum of opportunities, from a certificate program to an associate degree program, now to a bachelor's degree program.
That's wonderful. Let's talk about some of the transferable skills that go beyond the lithium space. So how do you ensure that the skills that are taught at IVC are not just lithium specific, but they're also applicable to other sectors like water treatment, and then of course the geothermal energy space?
Yeah, so I always make it a point for people to know that these programs that we're talking about, even though they were designed with a significant amount of contributions and input from the lithium companies, that they're not lithium exclusive. Right? As a matter of fact, our plant operator program and our instrumentation program do not have any lithium classes in them. They're all industrial type training programs across, again, a very significant amount of equipment and training programs. So they really cut across a number of disciplines. And I think the easiest way for me to say it is they cut across almost any industrial operation. As we were looking for places for our students to do internship hours, which are required in all three programs, because lithium was not here yet at the time that we began to look for internship opportunities for students, we kind of, by force, by necessity, we forced to look outside geothermal and outside lithium. And so we found connections with our cities and the water plant operations and other industrial operations. So I think, plant operators are needed throughout the whole country. Instrumentation technicians are needed across the whole country. So because of the training not being lithium specific, because of the industry certifications, and then be able to take those skills, those certifications to other places, I think that we really cover a broad spectrum of opportunities for students.
Now let's turn to talk about how you are tackling unemployment through education. So, Imperial County has one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. What strategies is IVC using to connect local residents with training and job opportunities in the energy sector?
So we're an open campus, and so all students, all residents are eligible, qualify for admission into Imperial Valley College. So whenever we have, like when we have these programs, normally there's not a lot of need for marketing because the community knows what we're offering. In some cases, like I'm looking at our enrollment for our instrumentation program, which is not where I want it to be. So we're going to do a very active recruitment and marketing campaign in the next 3 weeks to get more interest in this particular program. So I mentioned that we want to start with 24 students. We're 3 weeks away from starting, and we're only halfway there. We only have
Wow.
12, right? So we are going to very actively promote the program and promote the opportunities. So we do marketing. We do workshops. We're present wherever we're needed. I just got an email from an organization that wants to connect their members to our training program. So I think that again, our position as the only community college in the region and our presence and the recognition that we've had for these programs kind of make it a natural synergy for us to be able to gather students. But I want to compliment our president, Dr. Lenore Johnson, because his motto to us is that when we talk about what is our purpose, what is it that drives our programs and drives what we do, and ultimately is an effort to eradicate poverty in the Imperial Valley. So our mission is to develop programs. Our mission is to be ready for industry when they come, because again, to repeat myself, we don't want any new company coming to the Imperial Valley having a need to hire people from the outside. That there's a ready able workforce here. We have a very elevated unemployment rate, which tells you that there's a lot of people that are looking for work. It's just a matter of providing those people the necessary skills and necessary training so that when opportunities open up, they're ready for them.
Right. IVC recently received recognition from the Aspen Institute. So, what does this mean for the college, and how has it helped in attracting new partnerships or funding?
Yeah, so I'm very proud to tell you that we're the last recipient of the Aspen Award, which really recognized Imperial Valley College as the #1 college in the nation. So this is a recognition given by the Aspen Institute. It's a 2-year title. That title ended in April of 25. We received the recognition in April of 23. So now there's a new #1 college, and you can't repeat. So we kind of get to hold on to that title. But it's obviously a recognition of the work that we all do here on campus, and the mission, our desire to make a change in our communities and make sure that we provide the full scope of services. So this recognition is not just workforce development, but it's our student support system, our housing programs, our kitchen program, counseling. Is everyone really involved? And it basically tells us that the work that we do is making a difference in our community and it's opening up doors, right? So what drives me is, I mentioned at the onset that I'm an immigrant, and so a lot of the challenges that our community has, I also faced, right? And I'm only here because people along the way opened doors for me and gave me opportunities. So my personal mission in life is to make sure that I give back and that I'm able to change the trajectory of some people and give them opportunities, because just like I was given opportunities and I'm able to do something that makes a difference in our community, I think that a lot of people also could be in the same boat.
I love that. All right, my final question for you today is a big picture question. So, as the Imperial Valley navigates this energy transition, what do you see as the biggest opportunity and then also the biggest challenge for workforce development in the region?
So opportunities, obviously, we have, when we look at economic development, we have a lot of the basic needs that new industry is looking for. We have water, we have power. We're located in a very centralized area with close proximity to San Diego, LA, Phoenix. So I think what we try to sell to prospective employers, prospective industry is our basic infrastructure and how that works. We haven't been extremely successful in bringing large operations to the Imperial Valley. I think there's other factors that have come that get in the way of large industry. So we're hoping that that we're successful with that. But let me kind of make a point here. I think that the lithium industry, obviously, we want it to be successful. So I think that there's a lot of people who are interested in making sure that lithium is successful. From our county government and other organizations, we're working really well together. And lithium extraction is going to be a benefit to the Imperial Valley. But what we're hoping happens is that it's not just the lithium extraction. I think one of the scenarios that is our least preferable scenario is that lithium gets extracted and gets shipped somewhere else, right? We're working really hard to bring the entire ecosystem of lithium production in the Imperial Valley. That means the extraction, that means battery manufacturing, that means battery recycling, all of the ancillary businesses that come with these companies. That's what's going to really make a significant change in our community. That'll really be the game changer that we're all been looking for many years, and really bring down our unemployment rate from currently 17% or so. I would love to see it in single digits. In the whole 30-year career that I've been doing this, it's never been in single digits. And so that's only going to happen if we work together and we bring, like I said, all of the necessary ancillary and supports businesses and organizations and operations that revolve around lithium.
That's wonderful. And it's exciting to think about the potential and the impact that it could have on the community. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today on this episode of Geothermal Unleashed. I hope everyone was enlightened by today's discussion and new ideas have been sparked and everyone's understanding has been deepened of the geothermal industry's incredible potential. Until next time, keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible and let's continue working together to unleash the full potential of geothermal.